I need you to buy the ingredients for dinner for 30 people, cook, and then clean the house. You can take a rest, Sophia. If my husband asks you to do something, you can help him. My mother-in-law looked so proud when she said that. But I had no reason to obey her anymore. It's impossible. I can't do it all by myself. Don't tell me you can't. Just get on with it. No, I won't do it. I'm not going to be treated like that. My mother-in-law's eyes got wider as she gave me an angry look. Huh? Don't you dare talk back to me. Just do as I say. Her face turned red and she looked furious. Then I calmly told her, Okay, I'll quit being a wife then. Eh? My name is Maria, a 28-year-old housewife. I married my husband Ted 2 years ago. When we got married, I became a full-time housewife. We were happily married and spending our days together. But recently, we have been experiencing some tension. My mother-in-law, with whom I had a good relationship, suddenly changed her attitude. She used to be very kind to me, but now, as if she is a different person, she has become mean to me. It seems like she has suddenly changed. When I used to visit my in-laws, she used to say, Welcome, Maria, take a good rest here. But lately, she would say things like, You're late. Now, help me with the housework. She also used to tell me that I should just wait for a baby naturally. But now, she would ask me, Will I get to see my grandchildren? Aren't you the one who has a problem? I was confused by the sudden change in my mother-in-law's attitude. And my mother-in-law began to take advantage of me. She abuses me and makes me do all the things for her. Maria, I want you to come over here right now. Now? I just saw my husband off to work. Then it's perfect. I wouldn't call you before Ted leaves to his work. It's a wife's duty to make sure her husband goes to work without any stress. And once you see him off, it's your duty to work for your mother-in-law. Oh no. If you understand that, come here as soon as you can. My mother-in-law calls me like this every morning. If I try to ignore her, she would call me again and again until I come to her house. I have to go there because it drives me crazy. And if I go there, she would bully me non-stop. They make me work like a slave. I found myself having to go there on the weekends too. I was forced to do housework at my parents-in-law's house 7 days a week. Come and visit us over the weekend. She would lie to my husband and invite us over. Then she would put pressure on me secretly so I would do the housework. Since she doesn't bully me in front of my husband is unaware that I am being treated this way. And my father-in-law travels a lot and is often not home even on weekends. Therefore, my mother-in-law is on her own at the house. My parents-in-law's family consists of my parents-in-law and their 3 sons. My husband is the second son, and his brothers are also married. My older brother-in-law and his wife previously lived with my parents-in-law. They moved out of the home when they were transferred to a different region for work. By the way, my mother-in-law was and still is very kind to my younger brother-in-law's wife. On some weekends, my brother-in-law and his wife also come to visit. My mother-in-law shows my younger brother-in-law's wife the same kind expressions and words that she used to have towards me before. Why on earth did she start harassing me like this? Did I do something wrong to offend my mother-in-law? What's the difference between me and my younger brother-in-law's wife? I became more and more frustrated and couldn't take it anymore, so I talked to my husband about it. Hey, your mother has been quite mean to me lately. But my husband's reaction was cold. What? You got a problem with her? Give me a break, I don't want any problems. Basically, those things happen because you expect too much from the other person. You and my mother are strangers, so you shouldn't expect anything from her. His comment seems quite off. It also just seemed that he wanted to get away without even trying to understand it, and I felt disappointed. As he said, I decided not to expect any more from my husband because he is a stranger too. Then it was time for New Year's. As usual, a large number of relatives were going to gather at my parents-in-law's house. My mother-in-law had been persistent and trying to talk to me into coming over. I kept refusing, saying that I was busy with family matters during the New Year's. I had been pretty obedient to my mother-in-law until then, but suddenly I was not listening to her anymore. So she became increasingly frustrated. On the day of the family gathering, my mother-in-law had prepared a terrible punishment for me. This is the third time I've attended the event at my in-laws' house. The first time was shortly after I married my husband, so I was helping my older brother-in-law's wife. And last year, I was cleaning my parents-in-law's house and buying groceries. But this year, my mother-in-law has asked me to do all the preparations for my family gathering. I need you to buy the ingredients for dinner for 30 people, cook, and then clean the house. You can take a rest, Sophia. If my husband asks you to do something, you can help him. My mother-in-law looked so proud when she said that, but I had no reason to obey her anymore. It's impossible. I can't do it all by myself. Don't tell me you can't. Just get on with it. No, I won't do it. I'm not going to be treated like that. My mother-in-law's eyes go wider as she gave me an angry look. Huh? Don't you dare talk back to me. Just do as I say. Her face turned red and she looked furious, and I calmly told her, Okay, I'll quit being a wife then. What are you talking about? I'm going to divorce Ted and quit being his wife. You think you're allowed to do such a selfish thing? I won't allow it. I don't need your permission. Divorce is between husband and wife. Stop being such a smart ass. You really piss me off. What a coincidence. I'm also annoyed by every single word you say. What the hell? Then my younger brother-in-law's wife, who was standing next to me, also started making surprising remarks. If you quit, Maria, I'll quit being a wife too. Huh? Oh, you're quitting too? Because if this continues at this rate, I'll be the next one to be bullied, right? I've got to get out of here before it's too late. That's my sister-in-law. She's so smart. Why do you both keep talking nonsense? I won't let you get away with it. My mother-in-law started screaming in anger. My parents-in-law's family was all preparing for this event. So my father-in-law and my brother-in-law, including my husband, gathered at my parents-in-law's house from early in the morning. That's why my father-in-law and my brothers-in-law came over here to see what was going on. What are you making a fuss about? Mother-in-law has been picking on me and I can't take it anymore. So, as of today, I'm quitting from my role as a wife. And I'm going to run away before I become a target of the bullying. What did you say? Then my father-in-law went straight to my mother-in-law. Hey, you broke your promise. No. What do you mean a promise? You swore you wouldn't bully your daughters-in-law again. But you... Dad, what's going on? I'm sorry, Maria. The reason why my eldest son and his wife left the house was not because they were transferred to another region. It's because she was mentally torturing the eldest son's wife by bullying her. I see, so that's why they didn't come over today. And they haven't showed up for any other events at my parents-in-law's house. When the oldest son found out that his wife was being bullied, he got angry and went away with his wife. And I scolded her too. Then she said, I'm so sorry, please give me another chance. She told me she would never bully her daughters-in-law again and asked me to keep quiet about this. Really? I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I just didn't think she will commit the same crime again. No, it's not your fault, Father. Maria, you should go home today with Ted. I'll have her to do all the preparations for this gathering by herself. Oh no, that's impossible. Okay, then you tried to force Maria to do something impossible, didn't you? Well, if you'd been nicer to your daughters-in-law, none of this would have happened. It's all your fault. I'll leave it to you to decide what to do from now on, Maria. You can decide what you want to do among yourselves. Thank you very much. Then my husband started to talk to me with a frightened look on his face. Maria, you're not going to tell me you're divorcing me, are you? I can't do it with you anymore. You didn't listen to me at all when I asked you for help about your mother. Well, but we can just cut the ties with my mother, so can we continue to live as a married couple? I'm already disappointed in you. I'm sure that if anything happens in the future, you won't try to think for me and just make a decision based on your ego. I don't want to stay married to someone like that. I want a divorce. Oh no. After that, I went home alone, packed my things, and went to my parents' house. My younger brother-in-law is crazy about his wife. So he told his wife that he'd rather leave his parents' house than be dumped by her. They left the place together. My mother-in-law really had to prepare for the gathering by herself, and she suffered while she cooked all the food for the large number of people. By the way, I heard that my father-in-law confronted my mother-in-law with divorce papers later that day. He was determined to divorce her if she broke her promise. He is quite smart to make her cook all the food for the gathering, even though he had already planned to divorce her. Now that the mother-in-law is gone, my older brother-in-law and his wife can go back to the house without worries. They have a baby now, and my father-in-law is so happy to see his grandchild. I also managed to get a divorce from my husband. My husband was reluctant to sign the divorce papers until the very end, but as soon as I mentioned the word lawyer, he signed it. By the way, my ex-husband was the only one among the 3 brothers who did not care about his wife, which eventually caused the relationship between his father and brothers to go bad. Both of his brothers respect their wife's opinion, so their wives said they didn't trust my ex-husband and didn't want to see him anymore. My ex-husband doesn't feel comfortable going back to his parents' house now. He really deserves it. I, on the other hand, got a new job and started working hard. I'm enjoying my new job and living alone is comfortable and fulfilling. I also recently got a younger boyfriend, so I'm trying to enjoy my love life and work as much as I can. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you like. See you in the next video.